Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Main, Chairman of the Cynthia Planning and Zoning Commission. The time is 7:30, and I call this regular meeting to order. Will the clerk please call the roll? 7:30? 32?
Okay, thank you. John Main,
Here?
Ms. MacDonald. Here. Cynthia Watts. Here. And Selma Delia.
Here.
Pamela Fritz. Timothy Guerra.
Here.
Dennis Armstrong. Alan Kravitz.
Here.
Michael Rossi.
Here.
Maurice Kirkpatrick.
Present.
Christine Guthiel. Here. Mark Rapuano.
Okay, I'm going to see Kurt for Pam and Christine for Dennis. Brings us item 12, motion table from April 9th, 2012 regular meeting. You want to have that motion reread for the record? You still have that copy here, Kurt?
I do not, but I know what it was. And it was a motion to ask the two parties who've been found to be in violation of the code of ethics to resign. I believe that.
We agree that that would be acceptance of the verbiage of the motion. It's close. Very well.
In the minutes, it will reflect the
Very well. I'll make sure.
exact wording from the previous meeting.
Okay, further discussion? Should we call for a vote?
Vote to move it off the table or vote on that motion? You've got to vote to take it off the table. That's right. It's on. It's the table.
Then we need a motion to take it off the table.
Move the motion that was tabled off the table.
Thank you.
Open for discussion.
And we have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Now it is on the table. Is there further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Wait. I think we should discuss this.
This is just to take.
Oh, to take it off, I'm sorry. This
Yes,
is
just take it off the table.
Okay.
We
No, I thought we
already
just
voted
did that.
on it.
Yeah,
It's
no,
off the
it's
table.
already off the table. Did I get a
Vote.
second motion that I didn't get?
The second motion was,
It's already on, it's a motion.
Okay, I'm just
already
confused, I'm
moved,
sorry.
so I was asking for
Okay.
discussion. I
Got it.
heard none.
Okay.
I asked for the vote.
Okay, sorry, I got confused.
I asked for all in favor. All in favor to uphold that motion?
And I think we got to discuss it first before we vote. You asked for
I
discussion.
asked for discussion, and I said, is there discussion? Nobody answered.
He misunderstood where you were.
Would we like to go back to discussion?
Yeah.
Very well.
Just that simple.
Let's do that.
The person who made this motion, I seconded it for discussion, so I think we got to discuss it. But clearly, the two parties have been asked to resign by the Board of Selectmen. They've been asked by their town committees to resign. I haven't quite understood why the people on this, the commissioners on the board, want to circle the wagons and make them not to resign. I mean, I haven't been here long enough to quite understand that. Clearly, they've been found to be in violation. I don't understand also, the criticism of the Board of Ethics. I mean, I think trying to criticize them was in very poor form. I'm not quite sure. I mean, so I have a couple of questions. First of all, the information that was given about the Board of Ethics that you had, the chairman gave, I'd sort of like to know what the source of that information was, and where you came to the conclusion that the Board of Ethics had somehow themselves violated code of ethics.
See how that's relevant in any way, other than the fact that I still believe that they violated the Board of Ethics, or the ethical code, specifically on the very first point I made, which was specifically that the chairman, being a partner to the town's attorney, must report to him by the ethical code. Direct violation, according to my understanding of the ethical code, just cut and dry. The rest came after, and that was my own research.
Do you have any question that the parties in question violated the code of ethics, that the two parties have been asked to resign?
That's irrelevant. We're here to vote about whether or not we want to follow a motion made by Pam and seconded by you. That has nothing to do with that motion. Now, if we'd like to have further discussion, I'd like to discuss, but I'm not going to discuss what I said that day. I said my piece. I certainly took enough of the time in this commission. There's no sense going further. I was told by many parties that I took far too much time, and I will not discuss it further. Anybody else?
And I think you were the one who said we begged him not to resign. Could you,
Exactly.
Could you explain that? I'm being new, I'm just curious.
Well, there's a couple of things. One is that I think that we're talking about two people who I have a great deal of respect for because I've seen them provide a great service to this town over many years, and I feel that their leaving the commission would be a great loss. That's the biggest one for me. Secondly, I feel that we're talking about two of the strongest voices for the shore community in town on this board. And that the loss of two of them for that would be a loss just for that portion of our community. Those are the two reasons that I have.
Further discussion?
Yeah, I agree about the loss of expertise. We all represent the entire community, not any subset of the community. So I think we should, I come from the shore too, I guess, so. But that's it, I think that's an important point. The question is, the question for me is credibility. That we will be laboring under, because of what I actually think in one case in the case of Cynthia, it was clear. I'm a little less clear on, with respect to Lisa, given the fact that her husband was employed. I know what the Board of Ethics said, I know what the Democratic Town Committee said. The Republican Town Committee, rather. The question again speaks to their positions on the board and the continued credibility of the actions of this board as an entity. And I think that particularly is significant in Cynthia's case.
If I may,
Please, someone?
I have to echo Alan's sentiments with regard to the two members. However, I want to point out that it left our hands when it went before the Board of Ethics, and they reached the finding, and the finding was that there was a conflict and that we should not have participated in the decision making. What I find troubling as a member of planning and zoning is this. I've been approached by a number of people, political and non-political, and to a person, and I want to stress that, to a person, they have questioned the integrity of the entire Planning and Zoning Commission as a result of what has occurred. Now, I agree with Michael that these are two individuals with a number of years of experience and value as members to the entire community, not just to the shore community. But I think the issue goes beyond that. The issue is one of credibility for the entire Planning and Zoning Commission. And when you have town leaders calling for the resignation, when you have a newspaper or two calling for their resignation, when you have an overwhelming number of people in town calling for resignation, it would be even more questionable if the Planning and Zoning Commission itself didn't at least call for it as well. And it would reflect negatively on us all. My main intent for being on this commission is to do the work of the people and facilitate the process of land application approvals, if possible. When that becomes a question, because of some motive a member may have, I may have, that's troubling. It does, whether we'd like to admit it or not, some of us, it does reflect on the entire commission. And that is the only reason why I feel we should ask step should be taken by this entire board to ask for the resignation. It would at least clear the issue. Right now, we are, all of us, participating in what was found to have been a conflict of interest. That's my concern. I want to protect this board as best as we can.
I want to protect my community as best I can, I understand that completely, so, is there further discussion?
I just have one other question. I mean, the two parties who are here tonight elected not to appeal, which was something they could have done. And they elected not to come to the public hearing and defend themselves. So they've really not had a chance to be heard from by anyone as to why they think they should not resign. And I think they should be given that opportunity. They obviously don't have to do anything, but I would certainly want to give them the opportunity before we vote on this to explain to us why they think that we should not be asking for the resignation.
Your camera's still running?
It is.
Did either of you wish to say anything as according to what Kurt says, or would you prefer that or go to vote?
I would wait.
Wait for a vote.
I would simply say that you have every right to ask for my resignation. I have absolutely no intention of resigning. My presence here for the past, since the decision was made, should give everyone, should have been a big hint to all of you that I have no intention of resigning. The decision not to attend the public hearing was my attorney's decision, and that was because, based on all the paper articles, the letters to the editor, the threatening tone by gentlemen such as Mr. Cimino and others, and the threats I received from members of this community, it was determined that it would be better that I not attend. So that was, my attorney submitted the memorandum of law. As far as the appeal goes, let me be absolutely clear. I wanted to appeal because to this very day I feel that the decision by the Board of Ethics was completely erroneous based on none of the facts that were presented by me and my husband during sworn testimony. That the facts placed into the record were completely false. And I believe that as a result, they ignored many things that would have been in my favor. All of the things, as a matter of fact, that were in my favor. And I felt completely railroaded by the process. I wanted to appeal the decision, and I believe I would have won on appeal. The reason I did not appeal the decision, gentlemen, is that I had already spent $5,000 of my own money defending myself, just to the point of the decision. And it would have cost me an additional $15,000 of my own personal money to defend myself against a town that had already, thanks to the likes of that gentleman over there, and I use the term loosely, had already determined my guilt. So I hope that fully explains why I did not appeal, and I hope that fully explains why I will sit in this seat until the end of my term. I intend to continue to do my job to the best of my ability and represent the entire town, which I believe I've always done. And if there is any inclination of a conflict in the future, I will be asking that the matter before us be tabled until we can secure the opinion of Board of Ethics. The one thing that I was not aware of, and shame on me, because it is in our code, is that I asked Attorney Royston in an executive session whether I could participate. And if you'll all recall, since you were in the room, he said yes. The code does allow us to table things and ask for an opinion of the Board of Ethics. And it appears that the Board of Ethics opinion, not our planning and zoning attorney, is the only opinion that matters. I know that now, And that's how I will conduct myself. I will conduct myself in accordance with that in the future. But no, I have no intention of resigning, and I will continue to serve till the end of my term, which is, ends in 2013. Thank you.
Further discussion? Anyone? Okay, then I'll call it to a vote. All in favor?
What's in favor of?
In favor of asking for the resignation of the two parties? And so on, Kirk? Opposed?
Did I vote? Do I get to vote?
Is-
Then I'm opposed.
Vote. Abstaining? Christine, Tim, and,
Christine,
Tim.
and Anal.
Abstain.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so the motion failed. Moving on then, the new business.
I have a memo that apparently was sent to the Board of Selectmen by the chairman, and I just think everybody should have a copy of it, so I'd like to pass it along. Because I don't think that everybody's aware of it.
Yep, that's what I know. Stand by every word. Discussion?
I'm just curious, what comments by Selectman John Giannotti are you compelled to respond to?
John Giannotti went to the selectmen and informed them that he felt that the commission was broken down and none of us were doing our jobs. We were a broken down commission, we weren't doing our jobs. And that
was
was-
dysfunctional.
this-
I'm not quite sure.
I don't know what he said specifically, I don't have the ability to quote exactly word for word verbatim what he said, and I will not do so. But I felt that his comments had more to do with my comments that evening than the commission as a whole. And I believe this commission has been performing its duties, and as of that time, we had one item or two items, I believe, on our regular meeting calendar for the following month, and he didn't even discuss the fact that we had covered all our work. And because he was speaking as the commission as a whole, I thought it was my duty to let him know that this commission is not dysfunctional, and that it has performed its duties under planning and zoning for doing the regulations portions, and the planning portions, and the general getting through the applications as it should be. And I think that was in support of the entire commission as a whole.
May I ask Kirk what you felt was important about telling us?
Well, I think any time the chairman of this commission sends a memo to the Board of Selectmen as the chairman of the commission, that it's courtesy that everybody on the commission should get one, and he hadn't shared it with us, and I just thought it was something that everybody here should have seen as a matter of routine, so that's all. And I would urge you to do so in the future.
Point taken.
Well, perhaps it would have been more impact to your words if you said the entire commission shared the same opinion.
Because I believe the mentioning of John Giannotti referred to my actions that evening.
Well, you just said that you said the whole board was dysfunctional.
He said the whole board, which is why I know what they were talking about in the video. It's right there at the CPA website. You can see it. And I just felt that these selectmen need to be informed that I disagree with John Gianotti's opinion. Very plain and simple, that's right. But if you want to be copied on that in the future, I certainly would be happy to do so.
Well, certainly, from my perspective, you're gonna pick up the banner of the entire commission, perhaps on matters like this. We ought to be told ahead of time. I'm not saying you shouldn't have some latitude and some discretion as the chairman. Obviously, under the bylaws, you do have some latitude and discretion, but when it comes time to defend the board itself as an
The
entire,
commission itself,
then I think we are aware of it.
And this also speaks to a larger question. You know, there is supposed to be liaison from the Board of Selectmen with this commission. Giannotti came once or twice, not very often, and obviously came at a time which was particularly
stressful time
difficult.
for me.
So, it questions, in my mind, it questions the functionality of the Board of Selectmen as much as it questions the functionality. You can't come in and observe the board in one meeting or two meetings and jump to conclusions about its abilities.
I still feel that my duty as chair in support of this commission, if there was something that needed to be discussed that was wrong, I would certainly, I just felt that they gave me the impression from the video, it was a short video, and I looked at it and I said, the other commission members should not have to suffer for what potentially could have been an opinion about my actions. And I won't allow that to any other commission member, just like I stated at that time. I will not do that. If, Mr. Kirk, if you would like, I will certainly, even if it's the most mundane matter, copy everybody by email. No problem. Absolutely no problem. I just felt it was a letter of support of the commission and considered it relatively innocuous. I did not mean to offend anybody in any
No,
way.
I
No
actually
offense.
appreciate that you did that.
Hearing no other business, unless there is any other old business,
I move we adjourn.
Second.
discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, we are adjourned, time is 8:38.